Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply, and the project that I'm working on now is making the wood underliner that you're gonna see when you go to the Mexican restaurant and you order fajitas, and that cast iron griddle comes out so hot that it's impossible to touch that. But there's always a piece of wood the griddle sits on. So what we're making actually is 50 of those underliners. Okay, what we've got here is it's just time to cut it. I've re-zeroed both the bits. I've zeroed to the material surface. We're home. We should be in good shape right now. So let's just see what happens here and be ready with the space bar. Get a CNC machine, they said. Start up the Shopbot and see if we just turn the spindle on. Nope. Got nothing. Interesting. Okay, let's go back to tech support. Let's see what happens. So, unfortunately, at this time, we're getting a driver fault. So I've got to call into Shopbot tech support. I'm trying to zero all the bits in the Z and the ATC for the Z, and I'm getting an error. And it's been a learning experience, no doubt, but we've made no progress all day, and we are at 7 hours. So anyway, next update, likely tomorrow. It's gotten me twice now, 2 times. You gotta make sure that the key is engaged. I had it disengaged. Okay, I'm gonna go through my normal startup routine, air on, everything, and then I'm gonna set the GoPro as I'm trying to zero each of the bits, and we'll hopefully catch the physical evidence of what the machine's doing, and then we'll see what the error comes up. Let's go for it. Here's us running a C1. We're going to go down and pick up bit 9. Take note of how tall that bit is. I'm suspicious that that bit is too long for my Z-axis. And I'll tell you this, bit 5, I think bit 5 is the culprit. I think that's where I'm getting the error, actually, on bit 5. I'm going to take a look at the SB3 settings for that tool. I don't obviously know what I'm doing, but let's... Bit 5 is where I'm having the trouble. Okay. Okay, so let's open up that directory. Yeah, ATC local data. Then it was ATC Tool Variables SBC. All right, so there is something new here. E to the -7th did not occur yesterday. I gotta think that wacky number is the cause. If you are enjoying this video, please click thumbs up or like, and also please consider subscribing to our channel. Let's move on to the rest of the video. Okay, let's summarize what exactly occurred to the best of my knowledge. So we were having trouble getting the machine to 0 on to the ATC. So what was happening is the gantry would come down with a bit in it. It would come down to the Z0 plate. It would hit, push hard, and then pull up slightly, and it would stop there. Okay, so after an hour and a half of troubleshooting with tech support from Shopbot, just going logical steps, we were spending a lot of time in the control panel. Actually, let me show you that since we're here. Looking at what was happening inside the control panel, it was determined that this, what's called an alarm board, was bad. That's the new one. And apparently, from what I was told, is that board is not required for operation. It's something that helps Shopbot troubleshoot things. We were checking the drive motors, everything was good. You know, it was a mystery of what was happening inside of here. Since I'm here, I've got a relay board here, and I'm going to make an attempt to install a second relay board just so I can have all of the possible inputs that the software can tolerate. So let me just excuse the weird angle here. So we did a lot of troubleshooting in the control panel, disassembled the Z0 plate for the changer, the tool changer. Everything appeared to be okay inside of here. Put it back together. Then we started to chase this wire back. Chased it back. I was unaware I was aware of the wire, but didn't know its path because I didn't install it. Not that I would be any reason that I would have. And I was able to obviously chase it back to here, and then it was inside of here where I discovered that there were broken parts. So the wires were pulled apart. The black and red from the Z0 plate were ripped apart. There was the connector partially had the black and blue going to the control panel, and the only thing I can figure is that this wire must have been riding up high enough where this part of the gantry obviously hit it and broke the wire off. It just wasn't tucked down far enough. And as I pointed out in the past, or previously, we had, evidence of broken material. And I'm not sure if there's another connector or if it was just twisted together inside of this one connector. I don't know what was done. I've got new connectors, so I'll put it back together properly. Here's the old alarm board that I've got. So I was, as you've seen, videoing, zeroing the bits. It got to bit 5 and it choked. I pointed out when I sent the video email to Shopbot, I included a copy of all of this, and it was indeed this line where tech support said that they see the problem from the file, the copy paste of the ATC local data, ATC_tool_variables.sbc. So the message is the offset variable has gotten corrupted. Note the E-7 at the end of the value. This can happen sometimes if the program gets stopped while running or some other trivial reasons inside the computer itself. It is most likely not something that you've done. Okay, so during the hour and a half troubleshooting with Shopbot on the phone, that file was always open while the machine is running. In the process of troubleshooting, I alt-tabbed and found that file was open, and it was prompting me to save the file. I asked tech support if it was okay to save the file. They said yes. It's updating it as you are using it. But something tells me that that was not proper. That file should have been closed, because you can't write to an open text file, I think. Or whatever this file is, this .sbc file. So my opinion is that file should not have been left open, but I certainly am most likely wrong. And I'll say this also, I am suspect of this laptop that I have. If I detect more unexplainable problems, I'm gonna replace the machine with something more robust, is the bottom line. So here's what to do to fix this. Change this value to 0 and save the file. I'm literally changing this file to 0. File, save. Okay, that file has been saved, and I'm just doing this on the screen. I'm going to go back and open the file. I've saved it and closed the file. I'm going to go back to the file, custom ATC local data, ATC tool variables.sbc, and ampersand Z offset is now at 0. That was a number that was to the 25th decimal place. Open SB3 and run a C3. We're going to home it. Then we're going to run the CN73 to find the offset from the fixed Z0 plate on your table surface. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pull off the workpiece and a piece of 1/8 inch hardboard that I have on the tool, and we're going to run all of that. We're going to see what happens. So let's just do that right now. I'll plop the camera up over here, and we will go through these steps. Running a C3 routine right now. Then when that's done, I'll run the gantry back down the table, and then I'll do a CN73 because I have to pull those parts off. I literally just should have pulled them off before I did a C3. Move the gantry down the table so I can pull that plywood off. So the keypad will open, and it's going to want us to move our gantry to the right location. So I'm going to do this at, let's just do it at 12, 12, 3. Probably waiting for me to close the keypad, which it is. The tool will now use the Z0 routine to find the bed level. Let's do that. It'll prompt me for the Z0 plate. Oh, I have a tool in here. Alright, let it run a C3. Enter the number of the tool in the spindle. Tool 5 is in the spindle. Let's see what happens. I believe we're done. Let's do a C1. 0. We should come down and put this bit away. If you are enjoying this video, please click thumbs up or like, and also please consider subscribing to our channel. Let's move on to the rest of the video. Okay, so here's what's occurred, and unfortunately I don't like what's occurred in the sense that I don't know why it's occurred. So the pinion on the motor there's a pinion cam in there. That pinion cam was obviously coming down and making contact. I can see that it was because it's left a mark. So it was touching. That's not good. And I imagine the same is on the other side, but let's take a look at that right now. Yeah, there's evidence that it's touched. Just kissed it. Just enough to leave grease. Okay, so we looked at the operator side of the tool, now the control panel side, and that's where Chris Burns' mark was. So I've just moved it over 1/8 of an inch, and the whole problem is right here, not down in here or over there. So the issue is why is it only at 205? And I'll tell you, it's baked my noodle. The ATC bar appears straight. Everything appears straight, but let me show you what our entire problem is. I'm going to put the camera down. I'm going to bring the gantry back. I had to turn I had to push the E-stop to be able to move the gantry. I was hoping it would clear, no problem. We're at the hard stop right now. You can feel it. So the issue is pulling the ATC bar up further so that we have enough clearance room between the clip holder and the pipe. So what we're literally doing is looking for 1/8 of an inch. So by moving the ATC bar this way, 1/8 of an inch, I'm hoping that right now we're on the hard stop. I can bring it up. I brought it up 1/4 inch and we're clear. It's not much room left. But it turns, and I don't know if we'll be able to see underneath, but let's give it a try. Yeah, our pinion gear is clear of the hard stop, so we've got room there. We're in good shape. Oh, since I'm down here. That's what we're trying to do. So what's happening is the spindle is moving so far on the X that it's hitting a limit because we're trying to put this tool away. But why it doesn't happen on 9, 8, 7, 6, or 1, 2, 3, I don't know about 4. 1, 2, and 3 I think are okay, but 5 is a problem. And nothing's changed. I've not ever performed a CM74, and that's what we're going to do next. So here we go. Let's get out from under the tool, and I'm going to now start the process of a CM74, a C3, and then a CM74, and hopefully we're going to be back in business. So let's move forward. Okay, we're going to do a CM74, and hopefully we're going to do it correctly. I watched Chris Burns do it initially when the ATC went in, but I recall that it was just a rather boring procedure. So let's take a look. I know that we need to do a C3 before we do a CN74. We're not doing any C anythings until we go through the instructions at least once. When I spoke with Shopbot earlier, they were really clear that it's all covered in the automatic tool changer installation manual, and it is. And in fact, of this 2022 edition, I think there's 8 pages. but it's all really large font, so let's dive into it. Let's actually look at this together. I want to understand it on a first run before we start telling the machine to move stuff. So we've got calibrating the ATC, home the machine, type C3 in the Shopbot software or use the XY home icon in the position window. The tool should end up at the home location previously set in the Shopbot setup routine. Okay. Calibration, CN74. The ATC calibration routine is program to find and record the clip locations. This document will walk through the process. Great. Speaking of that, let me walk through some process here. So it says the ATC Calibration Routine, CN74, is programmed to find and record the clip locations. This document will walk you through the process. Take out the calibration clip and drill rod that came with the ATC. Now what I can tell you is how important Chris Burns impressed on me this little Ziploc bag was. So it's been safely kept with all of my Shopbot manuals and whatnot. Connect the Wago plug to the mating socket on the YZ car. This is where I would like to have a photo of the YZ car. I'm pretty convinced that that's what we're doing. Oh, baby. There's a lot happening there. Are we tall enough? Are we high enough? On the YZ car. I'm extremely positive that this is a clip on the YZ car. I'm going to do a quick internet search for Shopbot YZ car and see what comes up. Yeah, that's going to be the YZ car. So the red calibration clip will be clipped to the bottom of an empty tool holder as it is moved through all the clip positions. The black clip will be clipped to the tool holder that is in the spindle. Yeah, I think the empty tool holder is shown here. Type CN74 into the Shopbot 3 software to begin the routine. Enter the number of tool clips that are mounted on the ATC. Click yes if X and Y are zeroed, which we would because we'll have run a C3. Yeah, otherwise click no and return to C3. Okay, determining Z height for calibration. Press the green button located on the inside of the spindle and insert an empty tool holder. Okay, so what they're saying over here is the red calibration clip will be clipped to an empty tool holder in the spindle. Okay, so let's continue on with this.
Thank you for watching, and if you've enjoyed this video, please click thumbs up, please subscribe, and maybe even send the video to someone that you know. Thank you.